Right. So I'm going to talk about an actual experience that I had last spring, because last spring I was still in Spain, and as you know, that in Spain the lockdown came kind of very suddenly, and it was very strict as well. So we couldn't go anywhere, we couldn't enter any institutes anymore, and that resulted in the fact that my students didn't have their books with them. So they left their books at the academy or at the school, and we had to deal with no books. Although we were lucky enough to have the digital version, so I could share that with them, but they couldn't actually feel the paper and write on it. So we had to kind of teach, entertain, release the parents' burden for like 2 times per week. And so I'm going to talk about my group that was 7 students who were all 6 years old. So one positive thing about this situation was that we had already had a very well-established classroom routine. So they really knew what they had to do and how they had to do it. And that worked completely fine online as well. The thing that was, and the negative side of the whole situation was that I couldn't really work out how to give them incentives, because in the classroom we used the smiley face, sad face system with stickers, but of course here I couldn't give them stickers, so that was a bit challenging sometimes. The main differentiation that I found with this age group, or with younger learners, or even younger learners, is that their pace can be very, very different to each other. So some of them are very slow still, especially when it comes to writing or fine motoric skills exercises. And then some of them are already, they can use pencils and pens very well. So that was one thing that I had to think about when I was planning my lessons online. So one exercise or task that we did endlessly was drawing dictation, as they didn't have the books with them. So one task that I gave them was drawing a magic animal, which is like an animal with a giraffe's head, I don't know, bear legs and rabbit's ears. So to do this, or any kind of drawing dictation, I realized that first I had to get ready for the whole thing. And sometimes even before the class, when they were just coming to Zoom, I made sure that they had all their stuff with them, their colors, their rubbers, a piece of paper to draw on. And to check that, I asked them, one by one, like, show me your pink pencil, show me your red pencil, etc. And then when the task came, then we did I made sure that we did, I gave them very detailed instructions, so step by step, and I always waited for everybody to finish the part that we were drawing. So that made them focus, and that made my time management much more fluent, let's say. I still had to think about fast finishers more than like slower students, so I planned for slower students, and I thought about fast finishers rather than other way around. And with fast finishers, I sometimes ask them to draw 2 extra details on the magic animal, and then show me and tell me what they came up with. Or the fast finishers could give instructions to the others, so they could come up with some ideas. To summarize the whole thing, the one thing is that, of course, this situation came out of the blue, so everybody was really scared. But I realized that with the classroom routine that had already been established, then it's quite easy to work with the kids, and it gives them safety as well. So give clear instructions, wait for everybody, and prepare for fast finishers. I think these are the most important points in this thing.
Any questions?
I have one. Dorka, have you, so the students were drawing on paper, right? And then what happened at the end? Like, like was there some sort of like a gallery walk virtual version, and how did you manage that?
I find that they always want to show us everything, and I find that on Zoom it's even more. So and I did ask them. So like sometimes if I had time, or yes, I kind of planned in a way that even with the details, they always showed me that they have finished them. So at the end, yes, you know, like they showed each other what they drew, and everybody was happy.